What if the woman who brought light to millions every morning was fighting battles in the dark that would break most of us? Robin Roberts' smile became America's sunrise, but behind that warmth lies a story of survival so intense it will leave you breathless. Stay with me, because what happened next changed everything. Long before Robin Roberts became the heartbeat of American morning television, she was a young girl growing up in Pass Christian, Mississippi, a small Gulf Coast town where hurricanes taught hard lessons and dreams felt impossibly distant. Born November 23, 1960, in Tuskegee, Alabama, Robin entered a world shaped by extraordinary legacy. Her father, Colonel Lawrence E. Roberts, was one of the legendary Tuskegee Airmen, those barrier-breaking African-American pilots who fought for a country that didn't always fight for them. Her mother, Lucy Marion, became the first in her family to attend college, carrying quiet strength that would later save Robin's life in ways no one could predict. Growing up as the youngest of 4 children in a military household meant discipline wasn't optional, it was oxygen. "My parents taught us the 3 Ds," Robin would later recall: discipline, determination, and Delord. Those weren't just words. They were survival tools for navigating a world where being a young black girl in the 1960s South meant facing doors that slammed before you could knock. At 8 years old, Robin watched Hurricane Camille tear through her town in 1969, ripping apart homes and lives in a single violent night. She walked through streets littered with shattered glass and splintered dreams the next morning. Those storms weren't just weather, they were prophetic. They taught her that safety can vanish in seconds, and survival requires courage you didn't know you had. But here's what nobody expected. This small-town girl was about to shatter every ceiling in her path. What she did next would rewrite the rules of sports journalism, and it started with a decision that made absolutely no sense. Robin's athletic fire burned bright. Basketball and tennis became her escape, her rebellion, her proof that she could compete with anyone. She graduated salutatorian from Pass Christian High School in 1979 and earned a basketball scholarship to Louisiana State University, a dream offer for any athlete. Then she did something shocking. She turned it down. Driving past Southeastern Louisiana University in Hammond on a whim, she stopped for a campus tour. Something just felt right. Though basketball scholarships were gone, she accepted a tennis scholarship instead. That impulsive decision became destiny. Robin dominated on the basketball court, scoring 1,446 points and grabbing 1,034 rebounds, landing in the school's top 3 all-time in both categories. In 2011, they retired her number 21 jersey. But in 1983, when she graduated with her communications degree, the real fight began. Her first job at WDAM-TV in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, paid so little she joked she'd made more money babysitting. She worked 14-hour days in newsrooms where she was often the only woman, frequently the only black journalist. "I had to be twice as good just to be considered equal," she admitted. Money was brutally tight. She drove dying cars along dark Mississippi highways after late-night shoots, lived in cramped apartments where winter cold crept under the door, and survived on short-term contracts that could vanish overnight. She moved from Hattiesburg to Biloxi to Nashville to Atlanta, each time starting from zero, proving herself all over again. One male co-worker muttered, "Sports isn't a place for women." An athlete snickered when she entered a locker room with her microphone. The humiliation cut deep. But, Robin later said, "I learned early on not to let someone else's disbelief become my reality." Those brutal years forged steel, and in 1990, ESPN finally called. She had conquered sports broadcasting, but what came next would make her a household name. The moment she stepped onto the Good Morning America set, something magical happened. But destiny was preparing a devastating blow that would test whether America's anchor could survive her own storm. By 1995, Robin had landed at ABC News, appearing on Good Morning America as a contributor. Her warmth transcended the screen. Viewers didn't just trust her, they felt like she was family. In 2005, she became co-anchor alongside Diane Sawyer and George Stephanopoulos. Under Robin's influence, GMA underwent a transformation. In 2012, after 16 years in second place, the show finally overtook NBC's Today to become number 1. Robin had helped rewrite morning television history, but behind the ratings and the smile, she was paying a price most never saw. Waking at 2:45 a.m., carrying the nation's grief during tragedies, interviewing presidents while exhausted, the pressure was relentless. Then in 2007, everything shattered. Robin discovered a lump during a self-exam inspired, heartbreakingly, by the recent death of her dear friend and colleague, Joel Siegel, from cancer. The diagnosis was confirmed: breast cancer. At 46, the woman America leaned on needed someone to lean on herself. Surgery, 8 rounds of chemotherapy, radiation. Her hair fell out in clumps. Food tasted like metal. She kept returning to the GMA desk whenever possible, hiding weakness behind scarves and practiced smiles. In April 2008, in a moment of raw courage, she removed her wig on air and showed her bald head to millions. Later, she shaved it completely. "I decided cancer didn't, chemo didn't, I did that," she declared. She survived. She became an advocate. Life was returning. Then fate delivered a crueler blow. Just when she thought the worst was over, Robin received a diagnosis that made breast cancer look like a warning shot. This time, doctors gave her a countdown: 1 to 2 years. Without a miracle, this was the end. In 2012, purple bruises appeared across her arms. Exhaustion settled into her bones like concrete. The diagnosis: myelodysplastic syndrome, MDS, a rare, lethal blood disorder likely triggered by her cancer treatment. Without a bone marrow transplant, she had less than 2 years to live. Then came the miracle. Her sister Sally Ann was a perfect match, but the cruelty continued. The same week Robin prepared for her transplant, her mother, Lucy Marion, the woman who had been her foundation, fell gravely ill. Robin raced through flooded roads in the wake of Tropical Storm Isaac to reach her. On August 30th, 2012, her mother passed away. Devastated, Robin underwent 10 days of intensive chemotherapy to destroy her immune system before the transplant. On September 20th, 2012, her sister's marrow slowly dripped into her veins, a second sunrise fighting through storm clouds. 100 days of isolation followed. No touch, no embrace, alarms screaming through the night as her body fought to survive. She later admitted, "I didn't know if I'd ever say, 'Good morning, America,' again." But slowly, the light returned. On February 20th, 2013, Robin walked back onto the GMA set. After 174 days, she sat in her chair, the lights rose around her, and she spoke 3 words that held the entire nation still. "Good morning, America." 6.1 million viewers watched, many through tears. It wasn't just a broadcast, it was a resurrection. Because of her openness, Be the Match saw an 1,800% increase in new bone marrow donors in a single day. Today, at 65, Robin Roberts stands as living proof that comeback is not a moment, it's a choice. She's been with her partner Amber Lane for 20 years, married in 2023 after surviving illness together, distance, and secrecy. Her net worth exceeds $55 million, but her true wealth is measured differently: in lives saved, in donors registered, in viewers who found courage through her story. Tans Robin owns beautiful homes in Connecticut and Key West, but her greatest luxury is peace, the kind only earned after walking through fire. She continues anchoring GMA, not because she has to, but because service has always been her calling. Her journey reminds us that strength isn't the absence of fear, it's refusing to surrender to it. That grace under pressure isn't about perfection, it's about showing up even when you're breaking. And that sometimes the woman bringing light to millions is fighting battles in the dark that would shatter most of us. Robin Roberts didn't just survive. She transformed survival into service, pain into purpose, and struggle into strength that now lifts millions. If her story moved you, share it. Because somewhere, someone needs to hear that they can survive their storm too.